Chapter 2. The Full Life Begins with You. Quote, "People lose their health to get money, and then they lose their money to get their health back. They live as if they were never going to die, and they die as if they had never lived." End quote. Mohandas Gandhi. I hope the Wheel of Life exercise has helped you to identify the most important areas in your life and which ones you need to improve on. As we saw in the Lifehouse, the full life is the roof, and the foundation is you. In this chapter, we will focus on you and your well-being. If you want to have a full life, there are 4 aspects that you must pay attention to: your health, your personal growth, your hobbies, and your spirituality. To begin with, I'd like to offer you a series of tips that assume your health is acceptable from the start. I do not intend to cure any disease or ailment here, but just to provide you with some general advice. I recommend that you go to a doctor or a nutritionist if you do have any health problems. After all, they are professionals and can give you advice more appropriate to your condition than what I will offer in this chapter. Your health. The Harvard School of Public Health offers several evidence-based tips and recommendations for maintaining good health. Some of these tips are: 1. Maintain a healthy diet based on whole foods, vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats. 2. Engage in regular physical activity, including cardiovascular exercise and strength training. 3. Avoid tobacco and drugs. 4. Limit the consumption of alcoholic beverages. 5. Get enough sleep. Avoid too little or too much sleep. 6. Have regular checkups with a healthcare professional and follow up on any issues. 7. Focus on your mental health and stress management. Dr. Valentin Fuster is a renowned Spanish cardiologist and specialist in cardiovascular diseases and cardiovascular health prevention. He serves as director of the Cardiovascular Institute at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York and has been president of the American Society of Cardiology and the World Heart Federation. He has been awarded numerous awards for his outstanding work in research and dissemination of cardiovascular health. In addition, he is the author of several books on the subject, one of them entitled La Ciencia de la Salud, published in Spanish. This book is a practical guide to improving and maintaining cardiovascular health, reducing the risk of disease, and promoting a fuller, healthier lifestyle. Fuster addresses various topics, including diet, physical exercise, hypertension prevention, stress management, and identifying risk factors related to heart health. Aimed at anyone interested in caring for their cardiovascular well-being, the book offers practical advice that is backed by scientific research. In summary, it proposes a comprehensive view of health, which involves the care of the body and the mind, encouraging the reader to adopt a healthier lifestyle to enjoy a longer and fuller life. Fuster mentions 3 silent killers: high blood pressure, diabetes, and bad cholesterol. These 3 health killers are closely related to a lack of physical activity, poor diet, and insufficient sleep. I've depicted these 3 areas on page 14 of the PDF workbook, which will guide this chapter as we move forward. Eating healthy. One way to know if we are the right weight is the body mass index, BMI, which is simple to calculate. It is the ratio of our weight divided by our height multiplied by 2. For example, if we weigh 75 kilos and measure 1.75 meters, our BMI is 24.5. In this case, we have an ideal weight. In the table on page 15 of the PDF workbook, you can see the different categories of BMI. BMI scale: ideal, 18.5 to 25. Overweight, 25 to 30. Obese, 30 to 40. Over-obese, 40 or more. Some websites measure your BMI. However, the results can change depending on your health situation, age, and gender. Therefore, it's better to consult your doctor to find the most appropriate BMI for you. How do you reach your ideal BMI? One way of achieving this is to follow a diet, some of which promise long-lasting, fast effects. The choice of which diet to follow is personal and depends on your individual goals. As there are so many options available, it is best to consult a nutritionist or your doctor. Personally, I prefer the natural method of weight loss, which involves eating healthy, exercising, and adjusting our intake according to the calories we consume. The School of Public Health and the School of Medicine, Harvard University, have published what they consider to be a healthy dish. As you'll see on page 15 of the PDF workbook, the plate is divided into 4 sections that indicate the desired proportion of certain food groups in our diet. Source: Healthy Eating Plate, Harvard Health. Each section of the plate is identified by a color and occupies a specific proportion, providing us with a guide on how much we should consume. Half of the plate should be made up of a variety of vegetables and fruits. This is particularly important as they are a crucial source of vitamins and minerals that the body requires. A wide variety of fresh vegetables is recommended, excluding boiled and fried potatoes. On the other hand, a quarter of the plate should be made up of whole grains, such as whole rice and rye or whole wheat bread. Whole grains are an important source of fiber, vitamins, and other nutrients. Another quarter of the plate should be healthy proteins, such as beans, lentils, tofu, fish, chicken, or eggs. Eating limited amounts of red meat and avoiding processed foods is recommended. Finally, the study suggests using healthy fats, such as olive, coconut, nut, and avocado oils, and reducing the intake of saturated fats, such as butter. As for drinking, they recommend lots of it, but water. Tea and coffee can be taken in moderation, and if possible without sugar or very little. Also avoid sugary sodas altogether. A good rule of thumb is the 80% rule. Our stomach informs the brain when it is full. However, it takes a while for the brain to register the feeling of fullness. That's why the 80% rule says to stop eating before you feel full. Another trick to limiting the portion is to avoid large plates. The amount of food on a large plate seems smaller when compared to the same amount on a small plate. Sleeping. To get you started, here's a game. It's called How Long Can You Live Without Breathing, Water, Food, Sleep? We'll tell you the answers at the end of the chapter. How much sleep do you need? This varies from person to person, but children generally need 10 to 11 hours daily. Teenagers 8 to 10 hours, and adults 7 to 9 hours. However, these are only general recommendations. We are all unique and therefore may need different sleeping times. The best thing to do is to consult with your doctor if you find you are having problems sleeping. How can you improve the quality of your sleep? Dr. Craig Heller is a biologist and professor emeritus of biology at Stanford University, recognized as one of the leading experts on human sleep. Here are some tips on how to sleep better that Dr. Heller has shared in conferences and articles. Keep regular schedules. Heller suggests that you should go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Establish a bedtime routine. Set aside about 30 minutes each night for a relaxing activity that prepares you for sleep, such as reading or meditation. Create a suitable atmosphere in the room. Make sure your room is dark, quiet, and at a cool temperature. Exercise regularly. Exercise helps to improve sleep quality by reducing stress and anxiety, but avoid exercising right before bed. Avoid certain foods and beverages. Try to limit caffeine and alcohol, especially in the hours before bedtime. Watch what you eat. A heavy meal right before bed can interfere with your sleep. Try to eat dinner at least 2 hours before bedtime. Turn off electronic gadgets at night. The light from the screen of mobile devices can interfere with your body's circadian rhythms. Electronic devices such as a phone can be used up to 2 hours before sleep. The circadian rhythm is the roughly 24-hour cycle that governs the physiological processes of many living organisms, including humans. This rhythm translates into daily variations in the activity of certain biological processes and functions, adjusting to environmental factors such as light and darkness. In turn, other significant aspects, such as diet, physical activity, and exposure to stressors, can influence the circadian rhythm. Consider using an appropriate mattress and pillows. An old mattress or uncomfortable pillows can contribute to sleep disruptions. Concerning sleeping pills, Dr. Craig Heller has stated that they can have side effects and create habituation. So with that in mind, instead of relying on these types of drugs, He encourages people to work on improving their sleep patterns through lifestyle changes and other methods. As for melatonin, Dr. Heller considers it to be a better resource than pills, since melatonin naturally arises in the brain to signal that it's time to sleep. However, he recommends using it with caution. He also warns that this hormone is not the solution for all sleep problems and should not be used solely for habitual sleep regulation. In addition, he advises using doses as low as possible to avoid risks and side effects, such as headaches, drowsiness, and emotional changes. Regardless, Dr. Heller recommends talking to a doctor before starting melatonin to understand any potential risks or interactions with other medications, and to be sure that it is a suitable choice for the person in question. How do we deal with issues that concern us and keep us awake? The trick I usually follow is to write down on paper those things that worry me or the tasks I don't want to forget. I write it all down and then leave it on the bedside table, knowing that I'll take care of it in the morning. This way, I manage to get those issues out of my head. This really works for me. In addition, it is also advisable to take short naps. These can be brief periods of rest during the day when we feel exhausted. Now, I'd also like to propose another approach. Would you agree to take a medicine that made you feel good, increased your self-esteem, calmed you down, improved your brain power and creativity, made you more attractive, had no side effects, is legal and free? Yes, such a medicine exists. It's real. It's called physical exercise, the subject of the next section. Exercising. There are several types of physical exercise that vary in terms of intensity, duration, and goals. Aerobic exercises are activities in which the body consumes oxygen to produce energy and improve cardiovascular endurance. Examples include running, walking, cycling, swimming, and dancing. Strength training focuses on increasing body mass and muscle strength, usually using weights, machines, or one's own body weight. Common exercises include weightlifting, push-ups, and squats. Flexibility training involves gentle movements to improve the range of motion in the joints and prevent muscle injuries. For example, stretching, yoga, and Pilates. Interval training, also known as HIIT, combines high-intensity exercise with short rest periods or gentler activity. This helps increase cardiovascular conditioning and improve calorie burn and can be applied to many types of cardio. Balance exercises focus on improving balance and coordination and may include yoga, tai chi, or one-leg squats. These are just a few examples of the different types of physical exercise. It's important to note that many of them can be adapted and customized to meet your needs and fitness levels. It is always best to consult a physical trainer who will design a bespoke exercise routine according to your age, health, and physical condition. If you do not undertake physical exercise regularly, you can start by doing moderate exercise and increase the frequency and intensity as you progress. In my case, I practice moderate exercises. I start by lifting 2 5-kilogram weights in the morning before showering. I then walk my dog for about 40 minutes and take about 10,000 steps daily. Not only do I benefit from this, but I also make my dog very happy in the process. Moreover, I usually swim for 30 minutes 4 times a week. As you can see, it's all low-intensity exercise. I don't intend to build big muscles, but I want to stay active. Everyone decides what they want, but as I already indicated, it is important to do regular physical activity, whether it be moderate or intense, according to your interest. For those who want to create a daily routine, I recommend an app developed by the company Johnson & Johnson. It's free to download on your phone, very comprehensive, and easy to use. See a sample on page 16 of the PDF workbook. In addition, you can change the exercises and their intensity as you improve. The app offers gentle exercises that are aimed at those short on time and who don't want to do high-intensity exercises. The more motivated among us can, of course, join a gym or even hire a personal trainer. I joined a CrossFit gym about 5 years ago and finished the 10 sessions I paid for, but I didn't continue it afterwards. CrossFit is too intense for my liking. But I saw how much other participants enjoyed themselves very much. In short, everyone should look for what best suits their goals and physical strength. At the same time, there are things we can do in the office to improve our fitness. We can, for example, work at an office desk that is raised so we can work while standing. We can take the stairs instead of the elevator, of course as long as the office is off the 20th floor of a skyscraper. We can also take a walk after lunch. These are small physical activities that the body and mind will appreciate. As Roman poet Juvenal said, mens sana in corpore sano, which means a healthy mind in a healthy body. Juvenal understood the relationship between a healthy physique and our mental health. It is now time to design your health plan in Reflection 3. Use the form on page 17 in the PDF workbook. Reflection 3, Personal Health Plan, Nutrition, Rest, Exercise. In Reflection 4, you will consider other important areas of yourself: hobbies, personal growth, and spirituality. Hobbies are activities that you enjoy, such as collecting stamps or photography, anything you feel attracted to. Personal growth is achieved through continuous learning. Your learning doesn't end at school or university, but can continue throughout life. Personal growth is connected to your hobbies, interests, and your profession. It includes attending face-to-face or distance courses, reading books and articles that are interesting to you, joining a book club, music club, or any topic that stimulates you, such as crossword puzzles. The important thing is that you use your brain no matter how old you are. The spiritual area is very personal. It ranges from following a religion to finding it in art, poetry, or nature. Look for something that will make you transcend your little world, something bigger than your ego. The goal is for you to feel that you are not an isolated individual in the world, and that to survive in this world, we need others and nature. Use the worksheet on page 18 of the PDF workbook. Reflection 4, Other Activities, Hobbies, Personal Growth, Spirituality. That completes this chapter. Next, we will deal with one of the two pillars supporting the roof of the Lifehouse, your relationships. Oh, and here's the exercise solution to the question, how long can you live without no breathing? After 3 minutes, damage to the brain begins to occur. After 15 minutes, recovery is impossible. Without water, 3 days. Without food, 3 weeks. No sleep, 11 days.